What's up, team? Welcome to the Huddle. We're your weekly playbook where we not only strategize on playing the game, but changing it. From mastering the fundamentals of the craft to distinguishing ourselves in the marketplace. We're here to give the installer a leg up and ensure your voice is heard. We're here for everything you need. Let's band together and forge a new legacy in flooring. This is where you belong. Welcome to the team. What's up, fellas?
How's
What's
it
going
going?
on? Always just save it with that right there, right? Like the scramble mode and just let me just come back in and be all calm.
Well, with me as always, Mr. Daniel and Jose Gonzalez of Preferred Flooring out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you
Yo,
guys ever
yo.
need a great flooring installer in Grand Rapids, they are the ones you need to call. I'm Paul Stuart with Carrera. I'm the founder and CEO there, and I'm also the president of Stuart and Associates Commercial Flooring and your humble host of the Huddle. We are having just a little fun today. We dove into a topic last week that took us, how long was that, Daniel?
I think it was an hour and a half
Hour.
almost.
Yeah, no, I think it was like an hour and 38 minutes.
No, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it ended at like an hour 29.
So we ran an hour and a half,
Sorry,
respectively
guys.
last week, and
It was Ty.
it was what's that?
Said it was John's fault.
I think it was just a fact that it's one of them topics. You start talking about the installer shortage and how to deal with it. It's one of them topics that is not an easy answer. So it's not an easy question, which is not going to give some easy answer. I mean, we've got some complicated solutions out there. Simple, but complicated, or
Right.
maybe I should say
Simple,
simple, but not easy.
simple, but not easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Having a job board like Jumpstart, which I will be bringing that up pretty often in this podcast because it's a piece of Go Career, but the purpose of Jumpstart is to get our trained guys, the guys that are getting trained in the industry, new blood, to get them placed with either a quality subcontractor that runs a labor shop or independent installer that has a fairly good hammer rating, or get them placed with a company. I think that effort is needed, and I'm going to keep kind of singing that song every single week because I think it's important that everybody knows that here in a few weeks we will have Jumpstart live, and there'll be 15, 20 guys on there. They're going to be newer, no balls to do.
Do it for two.
Well,
We don't
we
have the
we
balls to do it for two
we did.
hours, but we're gonna wait for him to do an episode, and then he can stretch it for that long.
We
Hell
were
yeah.
hoping our first 2 hour episode is going to be
The
one of
Spanish.
our Spanish speaking episodes. So there you go, Jorge. You got a new bar to jump over. We did an
It's
hour
all
and a
you.
half. You got to do 2 hours, baby. So it was just a complicated topic with a lot of, I think, ideas. I love the um, the participation we got and the viewership and the responses, and it was awesome. So when you guys engage, and we tend to maybe get a little long winded. Today, though, we're just talking installer bucket list stuff that I kind of, when this topic came up, I kind of thought about it like, what was my installer bucket list at one point, and when I kind of checked off some of them boxes, that kind of evolves.
I think it evolves like everything you do, right? You set a goal, you start going towards it, and then in the process of doing that, you're like, you know what else? I also want to do this, and what if this? Or you get to it a lot quicker than you expect, and you're like, not done. Got to get
Yeah,
more.
and bucket list stuff. I mean, that's going to mix with us. I'm assuming you guys are going to be the same, but it's going to be a little bit of a mix between business and pleasure for me. I've got
Well,
these big things I want to do in business, and then these things I want to do. So, for the audience out there, as you join, give us some of your bucket list. So the one that I still have right now, and I've got my assistant looking, is I want to take helicopter lessons and become a helicopter pilot. So I used to ride in them when I was in the military, and it's speed roping out of a helicopter or things like that. It was I don't know. I fell in love with it, and then I've done a bunch of different tours in helicopters, and I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding. I've done a lot of studying on it, and how awesome would it be to go jump in your helicopter?
Let's just go
Right.
build one. Let's just
And
build a helicopter.
They have those DIY
Wow.
helicopters that you can build. The
Okay.
kit is
All
still
right.
like $100,000 though, I think.
Yeah. All right, guys. I don't have enough confidence in my mechanical ability to build the helicopter and then get in it and fly it. Yeah, that's I was looking back at some plaques on my wall, and I have a plaque from 2009. I was 40 under 40, and that
for
is
you,
just
bro.
from the Wichita Business Journal.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Do you know about that? Okay, yeah. So it's just the people under 40 that are making a splash in business or
Yeah.
whatever. But in that article, I said I wanted to be a helicopter pilot. That was 2009. And I have done shit other than read about it and watch
You-
some YouTube videos.
But the thing is,
And-
though, to be a helicopter pilot, that's a lot of because I fly drones, right? And to do that commercially,
Same thing.
you
Drones,
essentially have to
helicopters.
get
Same.
you have to go through the same stuff as a pilot. You have to not the
Yeah,
flying part, but you have to know all the things that
Well,
pilots are supposed to know about the atmosphere and all that.
yeah, you're a pilot. In fact, in many ways, the helicopter is much more complicated to fly than an airplane.
Yeah, dude.
And so there's a particular helicopter I want to fly called a Calibri or a Cabri G2. It's kind of a cool looking helicopter.
Come on, look it up.
Yeah, it's see if I can find it. Cabri G2, baby. So anyway, what do you guys still have on your bucket list? I know these are this is not your typical podcast, so I hope that the audience will participate and help a brother out here with the conversation. But
Dude, that's like the old school news ones.
it's this is one of the newest helicopters on the market from a I don't even know if I can share. We'll see.
I'm saying it just popped up a bunch of pictures.
Boom. Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, the same one I got.
That's the dog. The tail rotor has a shroud around it. It's a 3-blade.
Looks like a sperm.
It's pretty cool, man. It looks cool. Well, if you look at the if you were to look at the let me stop screen sharing. If you were to look at you want to see an ugly helicopter, don't shoot me, Robinson. But this is the other kind of more entry level helicopter is a Robinson 40 or 22. Yeah.
See, he has done a lot of research.
And this one to me is an uglier. Oh, let me get a better picture. It's a 2-blade. Here's a flying one. See. I mean, check this bad dog out. You know what I mean? Look, that's way uglier than the G2.
That is actually.
That big old tongue on the top and motor sticking out of the back, no tail rotor.
It looks like it looks like it was designed off of one of the characters from Angry Birds.
All right.
Look, Mario
So
says that
anyway,
he has balls, so he can be on the podcast with Jorge for 2 hours.
there you go. Jorge, you guys are going to do it. I think you guys are going to eclipse the hour and a half. You guys, we'll got to have a good topic because there's no way this podcast is going an hour and a half. What's your, so another bucket list when I was an installer was really to travel. I didn't travel much at all when I was a kid. And so I really was like, I jumped on traveling crew, and I was going all over. I even had my pregnant talk about tacos all day. That'll get you there.
That's on my bucket
Barbacoa
list for this
taco.
week.
Talk about tacos like Forrest Gump talks about shrimp, and you'll be good. Yeah, half the episode explaining different tacos.
I mean, that's kind of my bucket list for real. Like anywhere we travel, I want to go and get some tacos to see what tacos taste like in different places. My kids are over it already. They're like, "Oh, tacos again." But that's when Tanya and I travel by ourselves. That's what we do is we try and find like a local
Are you
place.
guys foodies? You're
Yeah,
kind of foodies, I think.
yeah.
Me and my wife, man, we go.
Oh, we know
We
you are,
just,
bro. We know
we
you
just
are.
love eating.
Dude,
Oh,
never seen someone as skinny as you eat as much as you did, I think.
man, that was amazing.
Well,
If I knew that I wouldn't throw up if I ate too much, I would have joined you. But man,
yeah,
whew,
I try to find food. Jorge says he goes out for the best sushi spots. Jorge, do you actually eat sushi? Like raw sushi, or are you the California roll guy?
California roll, baby.
I the crazy thing is I'm allergic to shellfish, so I actually eat the raw fish ones because I those are the only ones that I can eat.
I love sushi, man. I'll try that. My wife loves sushi, so we'll go try to find a sushi spot. That's a I don't know. It's fun to explore when you're in other
Right.
places. Like like I said, I wanted to do a little bit of traveling
So he
and
says raw
raw
sushi and
and
sashimi.
sashimi. Good man. All right, you're a real sushi eater then.
I had
I've
a
taken a few guys and they're
great
like, "Hey, I'm getting a
experiences.
California roll, or I want the asparagus, cottage cheese, or cream cheese, and something else." I'm like, dude, that's not real sushi. That's like vegetables rolled up into a roll.
Hey, vegetable rolls are delicious too, though.
I know, but you can't
Okay,
claim sushi
okay.
lover if you're just eating
Let's just agree
vegetable
that
rolls.
we all love food and we will all try it. Even if Daniel didn't find out he was allergic to shellfish for a long time, so he just ate it like his whole life until one day he put two and two together.
No, I
He's
think it was
always
a
sick
developed
afterward.
allergy, kind of like the same way with you and lactose.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. We don't want to go into that story. That was
What's going on, Mr. Zern?
I do remember when
What up,
I
Eric?
came to that conclusion though.
So do you guys have real like bucket list items? Shishimi's the way
Man,
to go.
so like real life bucket list items. Honestly,
Things
I
that you feel like you got to check off, the bucket list. Like
I
you
see
got to check them off before you go down.
my bucket list before kids was different than it is now that I have kids because I want my children to experience everything with me, man. So, um, I really just want to go like take my kids to go visit like overseas, like Stonehenge. I need to show them. I'm a geographical guy. I like seeing
You like history and
landmarks.
geography and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do actually, and like the Nazca lines and the pyramids. Daniel's been to the pyramids in Mexico. Like I like stuff like that, and that's what would be on my bucket list. Is like worldwide landmarks, right? Something that's recognizable
Right.
by the entire world, not just in Michigan.
So I
Or
actually, this past spring break, I got to check that off of my bucket list was to go to
yeah,
Chichen Itza, and
say
I've
that 5 times fast.
I've always been like fascinated with like that the culture down there, and I've always wanted to go there. And the last time Tanya and I went, we didn't go, and I was like, this time we're going. We made basically a full day trip out of it, but really we were only like walking around there for probably 2.5, maybe 3 hours, because it's not very big. Like it's huge, but they don't let you go up until it was, declared one of the seven wonders of the world. They let you go inside. Once it was declared that, everything is roped off. But
That was it.
yeah, I mean, but still to go there and definitely,
Somebody must have stumbled upon a portal in there, and they had to close it
Well,
off.
I was going to ask you guys, hey, are pyramids, did the humans build them or did aliens build them?
Dude.
Have you
There's so
ever
many
watched the
different things.
Y-Files?
Oh, bro.
Dude, that's a really compelling case to be made.
I'll go down
Some
some very
rabbit holes.
controversial rabbit holes with that stuff. Yeah, 100%.
there's just too much to them, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, they at least the Egyptian pyramids, they did this whole thing. Go check it out. It's a podcast called The Y-Files, and it is pretty freaking cool.
Mexicans built a pyramid here and in Egypt.
Bro, he's
There's
probably
actually-
right.
there's actually a meme about that.
If there's a feat to be had, those boys will figure it out. Like, we got to get this 200-ton block up that hill. All right, man. Next day, it's in place, level.
We level with our eyes. We plumb with our eyes. Nope, just a little bit this way. Good.
It only works if you lick the tip of your thumb and you get the light to shine off of it just right. They'll center it.
That's how you do it. It's your water level.
Yeah, that's
no.
pretty
So
much
if you guys have, what about business wise? You guys got like,
that's a big bucket, brother. That's a big bucket.
What you want to accomplish in business, whether it's with preferred flooring or something else, or like, I know as an installer,
finding the right finding the right process, the right time, just to say boom, and then be able to do everything that we know that we have to do, like the trust factor, right? Being able to find the strength to have that trust, I guess, is what it is. Gotta trust everybody around you.
So you're saying a business that runs automatically, is that kind of the thought? Kind of runs without you?
That would be fantastic, but
I've been trying for 20 years.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. That's the thing is, the people who have told me that they found success in that, their success, the way they found it was by selling it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like when you go back to like the EOS, right? It's built to sell. Really, it's not in the destination, right? Because the destination is to sell it. It's in the process to get there. Like so I guess we're still all in that process, and that bucket at the end of it is to actually have something to where you can just hand it over to someone else.
Yeah, I guess a short-term bucket list would be to be able to hire the right people to help the infrastructure of the business in the office.
The gravitational pull was way different back then when the pyramids were built. So, like the atmosphere was all helium, so everything was just way lighter.
That's legit. I got that from what's that movie called? 10,000 BC. Oh no, Carter. What's that dude? Carter. He goes to Mars.
So I think we, like, as far as the business bucket list, we've already talked about it numerous times, and it was years ago when I just said that my main goal is just to leave the industry better than when I found it, right? And I think we're well on our way to do that. It just there's so much work to do that it doesn't seem like anything's being done, even though we've already progressed, exponentially probably, but it feels like you haven't done anything because, one, you're still in it and you're still trying.
I was just having a conversation earlier today about that exact same thing, that we've been building Go Carrera since 2018, so 5 years, and really 5 years. launched it in 2018, but really got going 2019. But 5-6 years here, and it feels like we've not done much. But there's a lot of people that would tell you differently. It's just, I think it's that same thing you just said. There's so much freaking things to do still that it feels like this huge mountain. It's like you crest a little hill and you think you're getting somewhere, and then you look up and you're like, oh, I still got to climb that. it's
That was just
yeah,
the
it's
beginning.
daunting.
That was just
I'm
a bunny
hoping.
hill.
Yeah, it is just a money hill. I'm hoping that this next blitz that we're in right now does help a lot. But, kind of a goal is straight up. I mean, I tell people all the time, I want to leave. I want to make sure that I have a positive impact on the industry that I'm in, that I love. And it takes a lot of other people to make that happen. You guys, again, I'll throw out there, CFI and FCI CA convention is coming up. Make sure you're there. If you're watching, I want to see you there. Come see us, come hang out. But that's where we met, is at one of the conferences. I think it was actually
At
Surfaces
Ties, yeah.
at Ties. But it takes a army to change something, and a lot of people believing that something different, new can be possible. But ultimately trying to assist in healing the industry or being a positive force in that. That's definitely a goal, but a bucket list would be just that, from business standpoint, would be that Go Carrera is fully adopted, and that we have this placement and like this machine running that's bringing new people in, placing new people, giving the consumer whether that's a GC or a homeowner, the ability to know who they're hiring and the quality and capabilities of that person. I just think that's a better world in my brain anyway. And
It
the
definitely
big
makes
bucket
for a
list item
better
to
experience.
get a mass adoption.
I think it would
Yeah.
definitely make for a better experience overall, right? A more consistent experience anyway. And then,
Yeah. I mean, the consumers get to pick off of the off of that experience, whether it's the installer or the retail shop that puts their average hammer rating, of all their subs and employees or all their installers up, and says, we have an average hammer rating of 2, carpet 5, and whatever. And homeowners to know that, for that to be known, like that rating, the qualification, skill score, hammer rating, for that idea to be known by the people who pay all our bills, which are the end users at the end of the day. So
Right. Eric says he wants to leave a legacy of making people's lives easier and disruption to markets where people are gouged on select types of products. So if you guys don't know, Eric works with Gunlock, I believe, and he invents tools. I mean, things that make all of our lives easier. And you'll see him at these conventions and stuff too, and you can ask him questions, and just don't ask him what's coming out next, because he won't tell you. I've tried. He
we
just
need to
says,
start doing tool reviews on here and
I'll
have
sell you some
them all
ideas.
does some tools, and then we'll do a live review.
Hey,
We'll
actually, my
even
son,
unbox it and do this whole.
we were working on my truck this weekend in the warehouse, and my son came up with an idea for a tool. Why don't they have this for that, Dad? And I was like,
Ding,
dang.
ding, ding, ding. Invent
I was
it.
like, that's a great idea, dude. He was like, they don't have that yet. It's like, no. It's like, we got to figure something out. I don't want to say it out here because I give too much information sometimes, I guess.
Yeah,
because then Eric will go make it.
Hey, Eric, I'll sell you some ideas.
I see your tight lip. You were tight-lipped last podcast. You're like, I'd say something, but I ain't gonna say it in front of everybody.
I can't. Here's the reason: is
Don't give all your secrets
over
up.
the past couple of years, I have openly shared some ideas and showed some information of some things that I was doing. And let's just say there's some companies out there right now that
have implemented
mean,
such.
Yeah, yes. After some one-on-one conversations, they've implemented such, and they're making money with it. Let's just say that.
All right. Well, what's up personally? We got travel, eating. I want to be a helicopter pilot. You guys better ride with me if I get my license. And by the way, that's like, you got to get like I think 300 hours to be able to fly other people. So,
Really?
yeah,
So
300 solo hours. You got to have 10 tandem hours with an instructor, then 20, I believe, on your own, and then you have your private pilot's license.
the
But
crazy
to
thing,
have
like with
anybody else in your craft, you have to have 200. I think it's 200 hours.
so the landlord of our building is actually a pilot too. And he's
Mhm.
taking my son up in his plane. He's just got like a little two-seater, and I was asking him about it, and I was like, like what kind of engine and stuff like that. He said it's no different than the engine in a vehicle. It's the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of them are. If it's a piston engine, then and carbureted piston engines. So, what you got to start worrying about is, freezing. Uh, you know, all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
Eric.
I
I
have
never
done a
meant to
lot of
give it
research.
away. Never meant to give it away, Eric. It happened
Just
during a
selling it.
conversation and
Just
troubleshooting.
sell it, dude. Don't give it away. Say
Well,
I'll continue this conversation for $59.99.
I mean, as far as other bucket lists, I don't think I ever like wanted to be a pilot or anything. I've just the way we grew up, we didn't do much traveling, so I think that's why we look at that like it's something that we want to do and we want our kids to experience. And
Do you have another place in mind?
I would really like to go overseas too, but my wife says that is a no-go for her because her flight limit is like 4 hours at a time, and she said that's way too long to travel that way. But also, I guess my bucket list would actually be to like move to Cozumel and just open up something over there and
Go taco stand, I think. I think
something. It doesn't matter what it is, right? As long as I get to like live that life, because you go over there and people are like so easygoing, and it's almost like to them even their work is like they still get to live there, so it's not that bad because they know they're there, they're going home, they can go to the beach every day, they don't live far away from it.
hmm
I mean,
Yeah, I think one of the things about having a conversation like this is just trying to show it's important to dream a little bit, like live outside your work. Have some things, some goals outside of just pure work. Uh, Pretty much, we talk about work every podcast, and so having some hobbies, dreams outside of work. You know, living life, we do this for experiences. Most people say they want money. They really want what money brings it, which is the experience of the new car, the experience of the new
Right.
house, or the experience of the trip, the experience of having your own taco stand down in Mexico.
Freedom to be a
you know,
visionary. Freedom to be a visionary and be able to implement and try some of your ideas. That's all it is. That's all that money gives people is freedom. Freedom to do as they please.
well,
Not as they need to.
it allows you to design shirts for your baseball teams and coach your kids' teams and travel around doing that. And you guys, it allowed, like, the whole point of having hobbies and things like that is just trying to get your mind off work a little bit. I tend to be a
Yeah.
workaholic a little, and so my
Same.
brain like circumference around that. I'd love to get better at golf. I shot a 84 one time at the course I play at, that I'm a member of, and I my kids were little. My daughter was
You shot
12.
84 on 9 holes.
No, it was a you're not stealing my thunder, bro. That was the best game I had shot, and I was like, I told my kids, I'm like, I'm going pro. I'm going
Yeah.
pro. this is I had like 4 birdies. It was like ridiculous. So I do wish I was could devote a little bit more time into that, and I love shooting guns too.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
and
You
this
guys
guy
shoot
loves
guns?
shooting guns.
You guys
lots
shoot?
of lots of pew pew. I like it. It's fun. I just
Lots of
love the
pew pew.
smell. Love the smell. Love
Do you,
like
do you take your girl with you when you shoot? Do you
no,
ever take?
no.
No, don't want to give her the means.
Can't teach them how to do that. You know what's funny, man, is I actually got in trouble. I took my mom's property. I went out there and I was going over gun safety with my family, my kids, my nephews, and it was just a weird scenario. Neighbors freaked out, sent the cops over. It was all good. It was actually pretty humorous after the fact, but it was not humorous during the whole thing. But
Did you get arrested? Did you get a gun
no,
charge? Okay.
no,
Well,
not at
you're
all.
good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. It was pretty funny. Those guys were
I
smoking
got
a
to
little
take
bit.
my so you guys know I adopted 3 kids and I've got 2 boys. I want to take them out shooting. And so I think I'm going to take them before the summer's up, which is coming close, but I'm going to take them out to a clay range. I I'm a little skeptic cuz my nephew lived with me when he was about 16. I took him out there and he swung the gun 2 or 3 times at our faces and I was like, "Dude, give me a break. Like, I'm gonna have to tackle you next time, bro. This ain't,
He's was
ain't
he
cool."
was he just like, hey?
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like shooting. I haven't my wife told me the other day, and I don't know if I should be worried about this, but she wants to learn how to shoot. So
I think everybody should learn how to shoot, man. I know that some people just are against it, but I think that's I think everyone should know because the more you know, the safer you are. It sounds dumb, but people don't understand what not to do, and that's where the accidents happen. And that's why I did that with the family. I wanted them to understand how it operated. I do have to. I do owe my son a gun. I did tell him that I'd get him a rifle, 22, if he took care of his pellet gun. And I told him,
get him a little golden boy.
little golden
Iron
boy,
sights, baby. Yeah.
just a little
Teach him how
single
to shoot
shot.
iron sights.
Isn't that how you're supposed to learn?
Well, that's how I learned in the military. I didn't learn how to shoot on. Yeah, you shot iron sights, man.
He's a pretty good shot already.
Good.
Um,
Well, another deal, like you know, our support system here at the Huddle is Ashlyn, and she wanted to point out that small trips or small experiences, and a lot of times that's all the time we have to get away as business owners and as installers. So, taking that extra day off and going over the weekend, planning around maybe a holiday, get you 5 days off. Those are some of my funnest trips because I'm not missing much work, so I don't have as much stress. If I take a whole week off during the week, I
mm, uh,
I
That
stress. I get all
that's the
antsy. I'm like,
beauty of an extended weekend, right? Because that's what Tanya and I do. Like, just me and her, and that's where you see all of our like Vegas trips and stuff like that. It's because sometimes like there was and we talked about this on the mental health episode where a lot of times it was me always trying to include the kids in everything and then her being like, no, we just need some time together, right? And that's what I did. I was like, all right, let's start doing these weekends, and it actually worked out. And that's all it was we actually didn't take any time off work. We would leave after work on Friday, come back on Sunday, be back to work on Monday.
mm,
So
so you'd leave Friday.
yep. We
Yeah, I like getting out like Thursday evening, go wherever it is, and then because I'm not missing any work. I'm going fishing this weekend actually to Canada, way the heck up northern Saskatchewan, and I am going to take off on Thursday, 5:30, fly out and I'm back on Tuesday morning. So I miss Friday and Monday with two weekend days in between there, and that's where I get the most relaxation anyway, because I'm not away from work that long. I don't know if that's me or if it's like you were talking earlier, Jose, if it's not really trust, but just you want to make sure things are. You get calls when you're in the office, so you just in your head you assume like I'm missing calls when I'm not in the office. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So
It's always the fear of always having to play catch up is really what it is. Always having to play
mhm.
catch up,
Now,
Yeah,
missing an opportunity. Like those are always my fears.
Jorge
Jorge
saying that
says he no vacation since 2022.
all work and very little play, but he does go to the conventions and stuff. So seeing us
Yeah,
is what he
Yeah,
enjoys.
yeah.
But I did see that he went to a concert a couple weeks ago, I think. So he didn't even invite me.
well,
Dang,
who was it?
Taylor Swift.
But I mean, even the little things in town, right? Because that's what Tanya and I do too. It's like we love comedy shows, we love going to concerts, and that's what draws us to Vegas is everything going on. And then even in town, he we went and seen Boys to Men. Like
ABC BBD.
that was yeah, it was great. And Jorge says he went and seen Ice Cube. Like
Dang,
Yeah, boy,
dang.
that's pretty awesome. When was that? Was that in Texas, Jorge?
and
Mentioning all this work and play and stuff, we got to remember that one of the keys is what you were talking about earlier, Jose, was having systems and processes and a way of doing things that makes life easier, and that plays right into the fact that you know thinking embracing the technology that'll help you be more efficient. My dream with Go Carrera is that people are just the bottom line is people are getting the right guy on the right job. And you don't have to know them 100,
Mm,
for 15 years to know you got the right guy on the right job.
right.
And to make sure that your job sites are ready, you ought to look into Floor Cloud, which is our sponsor for today's podcast. Floor Cloud, we'll play a quick video here, but it'll show you how you can transport your project site conditions, the conditions that are maybe 3 or 4 hours away from you, save you that time, that trip out there, right to your fingertips, whether it's your desktop or mobile device. It will increase your efficiency and profitability with Floor Cloud on your job sites. I'll show you a quick video of Mr. Floor Cloud, and shout out to Scott and Patrick and all the Floor Cloud guys. I know you guys have had some success utilizing the system. We have a project coming up real soon that we're going to be putting it on. It's 4 hours away, so it's going to be a great fit. So, Asha, if you could roll the Floor Cloud video, that would be awesome.
Real-time monitoring of your job site conditions via desktop or mobile device. No more manual checking for temperature, humidity, or even dew point. No need for base stations, Wi-Fi, or external power sources. Simply scan the QR code on the front of your sensors and you're up and running with the most accurate and innovative site monitoring system in the flooring industry. Dispatch your crews with confidence and reduce your climate-related installation issues. Floor Cloud. Now you know.
now you
And that's
know.
the key. Now you know.
And yeah, we've got it on 2 projects right now. So we've got a total of 3 base stations hooked up and constantly monitoring. And it's huge for me to be able to go to the GC and when we talk about it and I'm like, hey, did you get some dehumidifiers in there yet? Oh no, I forgot. I said, I know you forgot because I'm looking at the stuff right now.
I'm telling you, you
Dang.
forgot. Yeah,
And
there's nothing better to save your time than, to me, is technology. Like having that ability to get the information, whether it's your site conditions or being able to, like, Go Careers technology that basically gives you insight into the installer's background and work history and skills and abilities. All these things help you to, be more efficient, maybe enjoy life a little bit better. Because, like Ashlyn said, playing catch up is better than missing out on life experiences. Because we only have this one life, guys. Try to enjoy some of it. Work hard. When we've done our financial huddles, put back some money, invest your money, give some money away, and save up for some of those life experiences. Of course, the conventions are always a fun time. They're a mini vacation a lot of times, or they were before we launched the huddle, and now
Now it's
we pretty much
Yeah.
work every
Yeah, dude.
conference. But
Yeah,
I do
100%.
enjoy doing this, so it's not a hassle for me. I know it ain't.
just like Jorge, he says that he does the rugs on the weekend and wall to wall during the week. I mean, when and I think that's the thing, right? It's when you have a passion for it, it becomes more than just a job, and then you
Mhm.
enjoy doing it. So when we're working, a lot of the times it doesn't feel like you're working. It just feels like you're doing what you need to do, right? It's not like, I mean, granted, there are those times where it's like you're so mentally exhausted from doing, like, working with this certain person or architect, and it's like, man, I'm
Or
over
product,
this.
or and that's where your home life, personal life bleeds into work life, and vice versa, right? Like it
I
always
tell
seems
you
like
what, the biggest thing to me is dealing with, how do I say this without saying a-hole, like just people who don't want the solution to happen. It's almost like I've had superintendents and GCs just want to be mad, and the job's going not perfectly as planned or something. And instead of focusing on the solutions, they want to remind you that 3 weeks ago your guys weren't there, you know? And it's just like, when you get a good GC that has good high quality superintendents that are solution oriented and a good foreman or whatever, that's when I love doing this business. That's when I
well,
love just all the moving parts it takes and putting them all together. And that's when your systems can almost run the thing, but you can never take away that human element. So I don't
yeah,
know.
and it's about
Brand-
working well with others. I think I just experienced some of that today with the gentleman who owns a construction company, and dude came at me. He didn't come at me very like professional, but he wasn't out of whack. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to give you a change order. I just want to get in there and get the job done, dude.
yeah.
We had a conversation. I said, we did have a conversation. I told you what I wasn't going to include. I said, it's there in writing, right? And like, even your guy told you that there were some unforeseens that popped up that we needed to assess. And now you're getting mad at me because I'm assessing them and giving you a price. So it's okay. Everything
Yeah.
was approved. Everything was good.
Like, Ashlyn is right. It's not even playing catch up. It's a lot of the times I'll work, if I'm leaving on a Friday, I'm stacking as much time as I can Monday through Thursday. Sometimes even that previous weekend, right? It's just
Mhm.
all, you still got things to do, but you can still do it and then get some of these, bucket list things done. Hey, I want to go do this weekend. So that means this is what I got to do.
You don't take care of your bucket list. Eventually, it's going to turn into the other kind of list. Start with
Yeah. Well,
more.
Like becoming a pilot.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's going to happen. I'm finding the school that has the helicopter, and I'm going to do it, guys. You got it here on the huddle. You can
Yeah.
call
That's
me
Yeah.
out
awesome.
on
All
it in
right.
6 months and see if I've gotten any closer. I would say that, the whole idea is take some time for you. This goes into our self-care episodes that we've had, therapists on for and talking about that. Um, you know, put some time aside for yourself, your family, your kids, and just like you said, Daniel, talking about putting in extra hours that week before. It's kind of like banking hours, so you truly take off the time that you're gone.
I mean,
I'd
or
say that planning is a big part of it for me. I've got to plan it out a little bit more than I'd like to, and it was really important when I was a sub. I had to constantly tell the stores I worked for, don't be booking me for a job this week. I'm gonna be gone. I won't be there. So I'm gone this week. That was before we had a lot of shared calendars, or they wrote all the schedules in notebooks and shit. So
Yeah.
no.
but you got to do it.
Yeah. The other option is work while you're there. Like when we want to travel, my daughter's in gymnastics. We went to the Bahamas. While the kids were, on their vacation schedule, sleeping in, I was still waking up at the same time, working. Then once they woke up, it was all right. Now let's make breakfast, head out, do something. But I already had, a good 4 or 5 hours in the day already.
Yeah. Well, that's a good I was thinking this last week about changing up my schedule. My body, I used to be the 4 o'clock up, go work out at the office by 6, bang out a 12, 14-hour day, go home. I need 8 hours, and that means I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock. And so I've been thinking, man,
How do you go to bed in the middle of the day like that? Man.
so some of my friends have those kind of schedules like you just mentioned, Daniel. Is you do some work, kids get up, you get to enjoy. I've never taken my kid. I'm except for emergencies or my wife's out of town. I have never taken my kids to school, not in any fatherly way either. Because when you're getting it thrown on you because your wife's out of town or she's sick, it's not like you're okay, guys. Let's make your breakfast. It's let's go get we're hitting the truck. Let's go. So I admire you for doing that. That's really awesome.
I've been dropping my girls off at school, their summer school a few times, more than a few times, but they love riding with Dad, and they're learning a lot of old school songs.
There you go. That's good.
I mean, just today,
teach the old music.
Just today, I picked up my daughter from gymnastics. We went to Blakely, and Corey from Wolf was there, and Jared from Uteen was there. I didn't even know that they were there. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Now we don't have to go get anything to eat. Let's go see what they got to eat, because I was returning some stuff. And then drop them off at the house, pick up my son, take my son to football, then back to the office. It's
yeah, I got to take my son to football here pretty soon. He's here somewhere.
Well,
he's probably sitting on the high-low.
That's the I admire you for that. I need to, I got 3 kids still at the house and 2 grandkids. I need to work that into my day and not
just take them with you, bro. Just take them with you. They love nothing. Like my son, he was little. He just loved going with me. Took him on a couple measures, meet some people.
Yeah, mine are old enough. They're 12 and 14. They don't like coming here because I put them,
put them to work.
It's you guys go out in the back and help the warehouse guys. I don't care if you're pushing a broom or loading up materials or stacking pallets. Go figure it out.
My son loves doing all that. I did let my daughter Audrey drive the high-low this weekend.
There you go.
She's 8. I told her when she was 5, I told her, when you're 8, I'll teach you how to drive the high-low. Dad,
yeah,
I am
a Gramps. I'm a Gramps, Jorge.
Paul is Gramps.
I am. I've got a 7-year-old granddaughter and a 4-year-old, and National, correct me if I got that wrong, but grandson. And we just was on vacation with them talking about short trips. We ran down to Branson. It's only about 4.5 hours away from us, and hung out on the lake. Did some of that. Of course, we ate some food, and it's cool. A friend of my wife's owns a big house there. We Airbnb'd it 10 years ago. Ended up the owner of it is the bass player for Rob Zombie. If you guys know who Rob Zombie is, the the band Rob Zombie, and he's made a few movies too. But yeah, he's the bass player. I think his name's Riggs. I forget his first name off the top of my head, but yeah. So we've stayed in there. Mike Riggs. Yeah, so we've stayed there at least once or twice a year ever since. My wife and his fiance are like buddy. She even goes down there with her girlfriends, and they all just go hang out. So I did get away and hang out with the grandkids this weekend, and it was really enjoyable. So I hope all you guys put some time aside, have some personal interests, some hobbies, spend some time with family, make some area rugs on the weekend, whatever.
The crazy thing is, this past weekend was Tanya and I's 20-year high school reunion.
Oh yeah, how'd that go? Did you go?
I did go.
Did you go up?
All 3 people?
There was probably like 10, 15 of us.
I've never went to a high school reunion.
I never went to a high school.
I don't know. I don't know that my high school really has them.
Yeah, Ashlyn says old. Yes, we are old.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to close us out for the day. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you to Jose and Daniel for always being the staples of this podcast. You guys rock. I also want to say to our audience, if you're catching us on YouTube today, no, it wasn't a flooring podcast necessarily, but we know the balance of life has to happen. You got to have some fun out there. So if you like any of our podcasts, check us out on YouTube. I think we're on Spotify and all the different channels. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, I believe. So wherever you're catching us, give us some love, give us a like, subscribe, follow us. Also participate in the live event every Tuesday. We're live. You can get on here.
And we still do get, comments and stuff like after the fact. If you like, I think there was comments coming through this morning, even from last week's, where we were talking about starting wages and stuff like that, which is a very controversial topic, right? And everyone will agree that no, they're not where they need to be. But what are we going to do about that? That's where it takes all of us to keep on doing something about these things.
Yep. So interact with us, guys. And another reminder, we're going to be at FCICA CFI Joint Convention in Orlando. It's coming up October 23rd.
October 1st to the 3rd, right? October 1st to the 3rd.
What is it?
Yeah, it's October 1st.
Yeah, okay.
And then the 22nd is when the NAFCT is. I'm going to be in Ohio for a Flash Cove and Heat Weld class.
I'm going to be in Florida.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks to our audience. You guys rock. You guys who get on here every week and participate. If you're watching this recorded, join us live. Give us your thoughts, give us your comments, and let us know what you guys would like to have us talk about, and any experts that you know about that you might want to see on the podcast. We love having guests. We'd have a guest every week, but then we wouldn't just be able to ramble in front of you either.
Yeah. Hey, we like to have some issues so we can help solve some issues there, right, before they become big problems.
Well, the fun thing is that we are all solution oriented, and that's what makes this podcast work. Is we think about those things, talk through them, and our audience rocks. So with that being said, we will see you guys next week, 3 p.m. Central on Tuesday.
4 p.m. Eastern. The right time zone, the good time zone.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later.